What's up, guys? It's Ray J back with another video, and in this one I want to break down what's happening with Tesla SPY, Nvda, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. I'm also going to talk about a big catalyst involving Tesla stock, which you should be watching for as time progresses. But just note that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moo link. If you deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. Deposit $1,000, you're guaranteed 15 in total, not to mention 8.1% APY on invested cash. So offer ends very soon in a couple of weeks, so check it out before they run out. Anyways, now let's talk about what's happening with the market. So looking at Tesla, we're attempting to push during this pre-market session. This is resistance at this 220 area because we had a bullish catalyst that came out. There's a lot of news and a lot of headlines coming out about how the EU's proposed tariffs on China are likely going to be dipping. It's not 100% confirmed, but this is making all these headlines. So what's happening is last month, the European Commission gave Tesla an individual tariff of 9% on EV imports from China. But now it looks like there's plans to revise them, and they could be reducing it below 8%, according to reports, and it may be reduced to about 7.8%. That's going to be very helpful for Tesla, especially during these high interest rate environments. So I think it's going to be very, very cool. Reports are saying that we could be looking for them to decrease by a long shot. The official duties have also been potentially decreasing. And on top of this, we could be looking for more shifts in other countries as well. I think that's very, very good news for Tesla. This is going to be adding to more optimism about the European market. And on top of that, I just want to say that as far as today goes, don't forget that today is Tuesday, September 10th, 2024. The last day until CPI comes out is tomorrow, which is going to be an hour before market open on Wednesday. So usually the day before CPI, what happens is the market sees a lot of chop, a lot of consolidation, followed by some potential upside. The market may even see a little bit of a push because of the fact that there's a lot of optimism associated with CPI. That's what happened during the last couple of reports. The market pushed the day before, so we might see a little bit of an upside thanks to that. But besides that, there's not really any major data. The market's just preparing. We might see a lot of hedging today. We have bill auctions coming out at 11:30 a.m. and then also the note auction at 1 p.m. And that's pretty much it. There's nothing else that's too significant, nothing else that's too crazy. As far as headlines go for the overall markets, there's some news coming out. The market's trying to rebound this morning. A lot of talk about Apple's new products, that the iPhone 16, the 16 Plus, and 16 Pro, and many others, not to mention their AirPods 4 and many other new products, which are very, very cool in my personal opinion. On top of this, I didn't see anything else that was too crazy, at least on the news. So there's nothing else that's worth talking about for now. And then the last thing I just want to talk about is our earnings calendar. This is what things are looking like for the next couple of days. A lot of retail and a couple more. We have GameStop's earnings today after the market closes. That's pretty much it. Nothing too crazy. So, anyways, about Tesla, I think that this pre-market session, Tesla is pushing very nicely. It's building some momentum. And generally, when we build momentum like this, we do have some more upside potential. But just know that Tesla has this 220 resistance to be fighting for right now. So we're at the upper end of this range from yesterday. If we hold above 220, we're going to be looking for 222 and 225 as our potential targets. If not, 228. And if we don't break this, we'll be looking at our key support, this 217 area, our 20 EMA, followed by 215, which is the 50 EMA. And then this trend line will take us all the way down towards the next support. This would be our next support down here where this trend line is if we end up losing 214. So as of right now, the 4 hour is looking a little bit more bullish on Tesla. This does generally lead to a little bit more upside. So I see some potential for us to try to push into like the 222 plus area for a little bit of upside. We had a bullish catalyst thanks to the EU tariffs, and with the market trying to hold up, there's a good chance this may help Tesla push. That depends on how we end up reacting to these resistance levels. So 220 was the resistance that stopped us yesterday. Today, we're going to be watching to see if that stops us, but so far, we're looking like we're just kind of testing this. There's a good chance we might try to break through this to try to push a little bit higher. So far, Tesla looks a little bit more bullish during this pre-market session. For SPY, we're looking at 548 as resistance. If we manage to break through 548, we're going to be looking for a target of about this 550 area. If we end up rejecting off 548, make sure you watch support at 547, 545, and 543.8. Overall, we look more bullish at 548. As long as we break this, I think this imbalance will take us up to at least the 550 area. As long as you can try to break and hold above 548, 550 is a good target. If it rejects here, we'll be looking for a dip back down to 547, but so far technicals look a little bit more bullish for SPY. But watch and see if we can try to break our resistance at 548.21 to get all the way up to 550. We look more bullish, so we will see. If we end up losing 547, we could dip a little bit to about 545, but this chart is favoring upside, like I said before. For ES, we look pretty good. We're breaking our 20 EMA. As long as we hold above 54.87, I think we could be pushing for 5,500. If we lose 54.87, we could be dipping back down towards the lows here in the 54.70 area. But this is still favoring the upside. It looks like it wants to get close to about 5,500. So we'll see if that ends up being the case. For Nvda, we're looking a little bit more bullish. We basically have this 108 area as resistance. This is also very close to our 20 EMA. If this breaks, we're looking for basically 110. And if we end up losing our support where this trend line happens to be, I'll be looking for basically our main support at 104. Nvidia looks a little bit more bullish, is riding this trend line very nicely. We have some tough resistance at 107.8 to 108, but if that breaks, we're looking for 110 to be tested very, very soon. For Bitcoin is looking a little bit flat right now. We're going to be looking at the support around this 56,350 area. And if we break through this, if we hold above the support, we'll be looking for basically 58,000 plus, not to mention 58,900 at the 200 EMA. So if we dip and end up losing the support, I'm going to be looking for a move back down here. And if we break resistance, we'll be looking for a big pump. Overall, we have a nice cup-like structure that could develop into like an inverse head and shoulders. So Bitcoin has potential for upside, so watch for that very carefully. For NQ, like I said in my video yesterday, we look a little bit more bullish, but we have this resistance at 18,750. This is our 20 EMA. If that breaks, we're looking for 18,800. If we lose this, we're going to be dipping back down to 18,600. We're favoring upside for now. As long as we hold above 18,750, we do favor the upside. QQQ is also trying to push right now. I think we could be going all the way up to about 457. If 457 breaks, we're looking for 458 and 460. If we end up losing 455, we're looking for 453, but this is favoring upside for 457 plus. For Apple, we're just range bound right now. We like to get bought up around 217. We get to reject off 221. So we're completely range bound. So give this the time it needs, and we'll have to be very, very patient. For the IWM is trying to push higher. We have 208 as our supports, and we have resistance around this 210 area. So I see potential to try to get closer to about this 210 zone, especially as we have this imbalance to fill. And we're just trading sideways in this range, so we'll see how things end up going. For Coinbase, we're trying to push a little bit higher. We're going to be looking at this resistance at 156. If 156 breaks, I think we could be pushing for 160. If we lose 155, we could be dipping back down towards 152. This is still favoring upside, so watch and see. Amazon is looking more bullish. We're looking for 178 as potential targets. We'll see if that breaks or not. That's going to be a tough resistance. If we break the 178 area, we're looking for 180. If we don't break 178, we could return to 175. But this looks like it's going to push a little bit more into the 178, so we'll see if you break or not. Meta needs to try to hold above 506. If you hold that, we're going up to 510, followed by 514. If we end up losing 506, we could be dipping all the way down towards 500 flat. So this looks a little bit more bullish to me. For Microsoft, we look a little bit more bullish. If we hold above 407, we're looking for 410. If we lose 407, we could be dipping back down to like 405. I think we favor upside a little bit more for 410. For Google, if Google holds above 150, we're looking for 152.5 or higher. If we reject off 150, we could be dipping. So we'll see if this tries to get a bounce here. If we lose 150, we're looking for 148, but this does favor that it wants to push as long as you hold above 150. Anyways, that's it for my analysis, guys. I went over the majority of tickers. Tesla is looking like it wants to fight for 220. As long as we could hold above that, I do favor more upside into like the low to mid 220s. As long as we don't get any bad news, and as long as we don't reject off that. As long as you hold above 220, we're going to be looking pretty good. So we'll see how it goes. As of right now, technicals are favoring a bit of a push, and we'll see if that lasts. So far, so good from Tesla, and we'll see how it goes from here. I thank you all so much for your attentions, and I'll see you guys very soon in just a couple of hours for another update. Thank you, and peace out.